So in our app manager, let's head out and reach out to the Service Cloud, which is an out of the box offering. So if you go into the app switcher, here is the Service Cloud. So we are in the Service Cloud now, Service Cloud app. So let's increase the font a bit. It's I think a bit low. Yeah. So as you can see, we have the case object at the top. Then we have a couple of home screens here, so that we can change it. So let's go all the way to the cases and see here. So basically these are the cases related to the student master yesterday. And so now if you see all cases, so we could create a couple of cases here and say so we're creating a new case here. Typically if there are any contracts set up, right now it's not the case. So and we can also associate it to some particular product that we have. Cases automatically have a relationship with the product, so you can see that. So this is how we create a basic case, say and just create a save, just create the record, so the case gets created. So now what we're going to do here is, let's set up the okay. So as we were talking about the case process, first of all let's look at the case process and create two case processes. One is for a inquiry and one is for a resolution. So let's go to the case, and when we go to the cases, let's see if it has any record types. So it has case rec 1 and case rec 2, which is fine. So let's go and edit the object. So let's configure create two statuses. So my status is going to be, I'm going to keep a flow here which is going to say, for a case which is inquiry, status will be new. Let's see the data. Let me change the internet over here. It's so at the heart of this case process is the status. So let's use the status pick list. So we have new, working, escalated, closed, and let's see. Called as inquiry resolved. We are going to keep only these two status for the inquiry. And let's see what is the support process. So in all we have so many statuses: new, working, escalated, and inquiry resolved. So for that we need to create a process, sales process. So how it works here is, first we have this case rec 1 record type. Either we can associate to a sales process, or we can also change it using the record type. So if we go to the record type, now if I want case rec 1, let's name it as inquiry. Also, before that, we need to understand one thing is in the service we have something called as sales process, service process. So in this one, let's also change the name of this second one to so to first merge with the support process, we need to go to the support. So we have changed this record type's name, and we can do one thing. So we have this status here, status pick list, which is not getting covered in this. So let's go back to the status field. And as we can see, we need to associate this pick list value to record types. So it is slightly different when it comes to service case object. You have to associate it via the support process. So let us look at these values here. And let's go back to the record types, because in the record types it's not allowing us to manage the pick list. We cannot see the status over here, right? So we need to go to the support process. So for that we need to go to setup again, search for the support process, yeah, let's delete the support process, that's there already. Okay, so it's already issued. So basically how it works is you have to create a support process and then associate it with the record type. Otherwise what happens is earlier we could just use the access the pick list values and manage it via record type. Here it is you have to associate to a support process. So I will say inquiry process. So for the inquiry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select only the new and inquiry resolved. So I'm going to change the second this support process we are going to have a separate set of statuses, where we will not have an inquiry resolved at all. Alright, so we'll have new working and closed and escalated. So we have created two support processes associated with the let me associate the second record type. So the first record type inquiry I have associated with support process inquiry. The second one I'm going to associate it with issue resolution. So that's already done. So now let's look at how when we create new cases. So label inquiry, and now if you see the status, you'll see that it's got new, closed, inquiry, resolved. Only these three status. Let's create so we'll just create as, so this one is of type inquiry, and now if I create another case of type issue resolution, is going to show me the separate set of pick list. So basically what we are driving here is, this is how the sales process works. You first create the statuses that you want to have case to use, and then you associate with then you create record types, and through the record types you link it to the support process. Earlier in other objects you can directly use the record type to manage the pick list. Here you have to link the record type to the support process. That's the only difference. So now if you see, you'll not see the inquiry status here. You can say working, so this way the support process can be managed. So coming back to the case process, so coming back to the web to case and email to case, let's see how these two work. First let's look at the web to case. Now let's create a web to case form. So we are already in the setup. Here we have to say web to case. So you also have a web to lead, which is similar. So let's see how it works. First you have to enable the web to case, which is already enabled in my case, and you want to say what is the origin. This is coming from your case origin text field. And default response plate, this is again an email template. Yesterday we created the email template, if you remember, for workflow. Same way you need to create one for support here. Like say for example, let us take a look at this email template, what it does. These are some out of the box Salesforce templates. Which is saying support case created web inquiries. So if I edit the template, these are already available out of the box. So you can go ahead and change it if you want. So it has taken the case supplied name, org name, case subject. It takes the case number and say thank you for submitting. So this is already available out of the box. So we just select that. So now the web to case settings are set. So we know it is enabled. and the template. So now let's generate the HTML. So now in the HTML you have to select the fields that you want to. Of course you should keep the status. Important required fields should be made available. Also, if you want to make it available in the community portal website, you can make it visible. Okay, right now we are just going to take the defaults now. We don't need captcha here. Right now we'll disable captcha and let's generate. Now this is going to generate the HTML for you. Okay, so what you got to do is, if you have a website, later on we'll see in the communities, if you have here, now we're going to save this HTML to a generic HTML page. And let's open this up. So now if you see, it's going to take up all the values. And it also backfills with whatever data that is without any change or any code from your end. So it also shows you the products, and you submit the query. When you submit the query, what happens, this website is going to be, this case is going to be generated over here. So now if you come to your cases here, and say all, sorted by case, you'll say, see, this case has got created. So the power here is, using the generate HTML, it quickly gives you the values. Automatically it binds with Salesforce, and that HTML, if you paste anywhere in your communities or in your website, you can create a web. So we have got a website, we have got a case created directly from the object. And we also have a, we would have got a response to the email. Actually that is taking some time, so we need to wait for some time for that record to come. So basically you will get an auto response email which you set up. The template will, it might have come to the spam folder, or yeah, so this has come to the spam folder here. So the response has come that, this record has got created. Dear, thank you, need software. It has taken the data from that and it has sent me the data back. So this is the auto response. So automatically case gets generated from a HTML page.